One of the best ways to learn, there we go, is to sort of disrupt your patterns. If you just continue on the way you've been going on, then you just miss everything. So I want us to do a joy scream that you haven't done in a long time. For some of you, it's going to be a bit of a tough one. I can already see with Jack, we've got a problem. But I want you to just imagine yourself happy and making that happy sound. This morning, early hours of the morning, I had a dream. I had a dream that I was actually at a talk with Vusi Tembewaya. And I was being called on to come to the stage. And my thing was just making a whole bunch of noise and getting everybody excited. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do that this morning. It doesn't have to be a dream. It can be a reality. So, were they going to go, yeah! You know, that's what I had in my dream. That's the sound I had. Or you're going to go, yay! Woohoo! I don't care what it is. But give us your best joy sound. Come on. 1, 2, 3. Yeah! Come on. Yeah, let's sit down. Thank you. Fantastic. This morning I want to talk to you a little bit about, I'm going to combine two talks that I normally do actually as a special so that I can give you as much as I possibly can. Where I talk about the 3 crucial AIs that we as human beings have to have in the AI age. If you don't have these 3 AIs, you'll find that AI is going to outpace you. But the thing about it is that AI has been driven by human beings. And many people are scared about it and thinking that AI is going to replace them. But actually, AI doesn't have to replace you if you understand that actually it's human beings that initiated AI. So, and I also want to combine it with normally the basis of what I do, which is mindset development. And in the mindset development, I've got 5 different key principles of human limitations, which literally inform most of the industries that we find ourselves in. And such is the story of life. If the rate of change that is happening externally exceeds the one that's happening within, your end is nigh. For many of us, when I started in this professional speaking thing in 2019, and as soon as it started, COVID-19 hit. And I went to the USA to try and improve on my qualifications. And as soon as I landed, 4 hours later, Donald Trump shut down the country. And I found myself in a foreign country with absolutely no plan at all. And I needed to figure something out. And I actually ended up being stuck there for 8 months. So during the time of George Floyd, during the time of Donald Trump's elections, all of that chaos that was happening in the world, I was right there in the United States, seeing the world differently from the news that you guys were receiving here. When everybody thought that things are going to turn out a certain way, but they turn out a certain way. The reality of the matter is this. As human beings, we have to understand that we are limited. And there's nothing wrong necessarily with that. But it's a reality that you've got to integrate in your thinking. And there are 5 of those crucial human limitations that you've got to think about. Now, this is one of the models that I normally run. I'll take you through it a little bit quickly. But the idea is that that's you right there in the middle. Crucially, your life is about the decisions that you're going to make. Every decision today that you make is going to impact what tomorrow looks like. Whatever decision that you don't make today, it will not be part of tomorrow. Whatever decision you make today will be part of tomorrow. So that makes you think deeply. And of course, the crucial part about decisions is that you constantly have to grow. If you're not growing, your quality of decisions also don't match the constant change that's happening. At the back here, you've got yourself, your mindset, your personalities, your emotional intelligence, and your abilities. If your mindset are not changing, you're in trouble. If your EQ, your emotional intelligence, is not growing, you are in trouble because change is constantly happening. If you don't understand the abilities that you've got to acquire along the way as you're growing, as you're trying to achieve whatever you're trying to achieve, navigating the variables of complexities that are part of your life, if they're not changing along with you, along with the change that's going on, you are in trouble. In the middle of that, you've got your life stages. Do you understand where you are? Do you understand that you are at the beginning of something? What happens when you're at the beginning of something? One of the things that you've got a low level of awareness, not because you're dumb, but simply because you have not been exposed to something for too long, right? You know this with kids. So no matter how smart you are, if your level of awareness is not as much as it needs to be, your intelligence is trapped. It has nowhere to go. So you got to understand that at the beginning of something, I've got a low level of awareness, and as a result, I've got to acquire more information, I've got to be open to more growth, I've got to be open to more learning, and I should not mislabel myself as being something that I'm not when I'm just simply human. The needs that you have in that space. What is your role at the time? Because your role determines how you make use of the resources, how you integrate and how you interact with your environment and with the people. What do you get from them? If you don't understand what your role is, you don't know what to get. You don't know what to do with what you have. Of course, your vision and mission. But on the other side, I'm quick to go on this side because I want to continue on here because I don't have a lot of time. Understand that as a human being, crucially, you have relationships. Relationships are important for forming who you are. Do you know who your at least 5 or 7 most important people? One of my mentors told me this when I met him around the age of 21. African-American guy. He said to me, Jabs. He calls me Jabs. Jabs. Missionary, they're traveling all the time. And whenever they go to a country, he normally says, I only have 8 people. Back in the day, because it was around 2000, I have to know somebody in the post office. I have to know somebody in the police. I've got to know somebody who's an attorney. I have to know somebody in home affairs. I've got to have a doctor. I've got to have a banker. I've got to have somebody in business. I have to know somebody in the community that's more influential. So that if I have anything to get done, I know who to call. If you understand that you are limited, you understand that you need those people. Do you have a guy or a girl? Do you have them? When I traveled to the USA, my wife and my kids were left by themselves. But there were at least 5 different men I could call at any given moment. And things happened. One time the garage door went down. I called the other guy. Listen, the garage door went down. It was sorted out. The other time there was something that happened with the window that was broken. It was all sorted out. Because I had people around me. Because I accept that I'm a limited human being. That is why I'm relational. Relationships are crucial to me. Because that is the primary basis of your influence. The primary base of your influence is relationships. In the middle there, it's about understanding the environment. Do you know who's in your society? Do you know what the norms and standards they have, the culture, the rituals, the language that's been spoken, what's accepted, what is not? Do you know how you relate to that? Do you know the sensitivities around that? And then lastly, it's about the institutional order. What are some of the laws that you're going to observe, the protocols that you're going to observe in any environment that you go into? When I travel to a country, for example, one of the first things that I do is I learn something about the language. I know how to greet and say thank you and do those type of things in more than 30 different languages. Some of them I won't even believe that I know them. But I know that in terms of relationality, the moments I get to a place where they speak Greek and I say, Yasutukanes, kala kesi, we're good to go. If I get to a French place, bonjour. Bonjour tout le monde. Tu vas bien? We're good to go. If I get to Uganda, I say, Oriotia, Libulunji. Looking at me like, what's this guy saying? But they know what I'm talking about. Now, the next thing we're going to understand is this. You have to develop 3 crucial things. Adaptability intelligence, authenticity intelligence, and articulation intelligence. These are the 3 AIs. Adaptability is the ability to adapt your acquired information and applied knowledge and abilities to a fast-changing world. If you don't know how to do this, if you don't know how to adapt, here's the problem. Or rather, this is how do you learn how to adapt? Be willing to learn and unlearn. Learn the abilities to leverage change. Understand that change is part and parcel of life. Don't call it something that is not. And here's some of the challenge. I'm a pastor, and I'm a Christian, and I know that some of the beliefs that are problematic. And some of those things, for example, attributing change to the devil. You're in trouble. Devil has got nothing to do with the change. Or witchcraft. It's part of life. It's part of growth. It's a reality that exists. Don't call change what it is not. But instead understand what you need to do to become, to learn, so that you can be able to handle the change. Be flexible in decision making. Some of us are so fixed in the way that we think that when you have to make some decisions, we have to literally lose everything before we make the decision. By the time we make a decision, it's almost too late. Right? Equip yourself with AI tools. Like AI tools are here today. In terms of my business, since I started using AI, I can tell you right now, I've saved almost about 80% of my productivity. I have saved so much in terms of what I need to do. There's so many things I need. Even this very same presentation, I didn't, this time around, I was like, let me try this out. I used an AI tool to create the entire presentation. Took me less than 5 minutes to get it done. Okay? Build diversity, build intellectual diversity in multiple decisions. Sorry about that. Right? That's AI for you. Okay? No, actually that's not AI, that's me. Because it doesn't really do spelling, but I do. Because English is my borrowed language. So build intellectual, I believe in that. I believe in building intellectual diversity. How many subjects do you know? How many industries are you in? How many people do you know around you? All right, this is a fairly mixed group. This is what I call intellectual diversity, because you can learn diversity of views. How many countries have you been in? Which environments do you normally find yourself in? Do you find yourself in the same environment every day and you think that the world is going to come to an end because your people are saying the world's going to come to an end? Some of you people hang around the same bright people every day. South Africa's going down. This is what's happening. That's the only thing that you know. This is what's going to happen with the world. That's the only thing that you know. I saw that happening in the States with Trump and with Biden. Families turned against each other because there was no diversity of intellect at all. Couldn't just engage objectively around certain things. And if you are in this space where you are influencing people, you got to have diversity in multiple disciplines so that your intellect is also agile. Authenticity intelligence. This is crucial. In the world of AI, where everything is becoming generic, your authenticity is the most expensive component of your currency. Your authenticity is the most expensive component of your currency. Ask Messi. Ask Ronaldo. They'll tell you. Right? So it's important to build that. How do you build that? Build your identity. Understand your background. Identify your talents. Determine your purpose and identify and use your authentic leverage, your authentic background, your authentic experiences, the authentic environments that you've been in. The crucial thing about authenticity is this word. Are you ready for it? Uniqueness. What is that one thing that people use you the most for without paying you? But they come to you all the time, and they use you over and over and over and over again. That is the clue. That holds the clue to your authenticity and your authentic contribution to the world. If you don't know how to leverage that and make it into something that can earn you money, that's why you're unhappy. Lastly, articulation intelligence. AI requires something called prompting. There's a new job description called prompting engineering, because it is about communication. Do you know how to articulate your thoughts? Can you get to a point quickly without wasting any time? Can you be comprehensive in the way that you communicate? Can you go deep? Can you go wide? Can you be succinct? If you need to go long, can you do it? If you need to be flexible, can you do it? Articulate people are seen to be better in 3 different areas: intelligence, competence, and influence, leadership. You can have the most incompetent person in the world. As long as they can speak well, they'll get the job. And you can be the most intelligent person in the room. If you can't speak well, you won't get it. That's why the space of communication is the most rewarded space in many different spaces. So, with that being said, build your voice, build your knowledge, build your vocabulary, build your diversity, practice, apply, and improve. Build your knowledge, build your vocabulary. I'm a non-native English speaker. I get that. I speak multiple languages, and as a result, sometimes when I try to really express myself, isiZulu comes in or Sutu comes in and then kind of messes things up a little bit. But one of the ways that I overcome that is that I built my vocabulary. I'm quite diverse in my ability to express myself in the Queen's language. It's got nothing to do with going to a fancy school, so I didn't go to a fancy school. But I figured it out along the way, that if I want to get somewhere in life, I'm going to twang the heck out of this thing. We say twang. You guys missed it because I see, yeah. Black people talk about twang. Twang. We speak English with a twang. And this is the twang that white people like because it makes me sound like them. So we understand. I understand that for me as a black person, it's a leverage. I see that for me as a black person, speaking English the way that I do is a leverage that Ja can never have because he's white. So that's my black privilege. He may have white privilege, but my black privilege is that I can express myself in the Queen's language, and people think, oh, wow, amazing, where does he come from? But don't nobody care about where he comes from. When he speaks the language. That doesn't make sense. I don't know why I decided to pick on you today. Is it okay? Oh, come on, man. Okay, guys, with everything that been said, look, there's a lot that I can say, but that's about that. My name is Jabu Zwane. Thank you so much for being here this morning, and I hope you're ready to really have a lot of fun. Have your pen and paper ready. Get ready to learn, right? Be intentional to learn. Identify what you're learning, integrate it, practice it, and apply it. But if you don't know what you've learned this morning, then you wasted your time. And I hope you're going to learn a few things. Thank you so much. Have a great
Thank you, Jabu. Jabu, don't go anywhere.